Which Premier League clubs fly the most in pre-season? Los Angeles or Chesterfield, San Diego or Salford. The pre-season destinations of the 20 Premier League clubs may vary, but the problem remains the same: the impact of so many flights. Half 10 of the clubs flew to the United States for friendly matches, 3 traveled to the Far East, and the remainder are in Europe and the United Kingdom. Manchester United's pre-season schedule sees them flying almost 13,000 miles to play matches in Norway, Scotland and the US. Chelsea and Tottenham are also expected to fly more than 12,000 miles. Liverpool are on 8,300.
In contrast, Everton will fly the least, with just one game outside the UK, in the Republic of Ireland. Spurs and Newcastle also played an exhibition match in May, 3 days after the season ended, for which they both flew to Melbourne, Australia, a game Alan Shearer described as madness. Add in those air miles and both teams will have traveled more than 30,000 air miles in preseason, the equivalent of more than one trip around the world, to play non-competitive matches.
Newcastle and Spurs are aiming to reach net zero by 2030, while Manchester United and Chelsea are in the process of establishing an emissions reduction plan. Net zero requires the reduction and removal of all non-essential emissions, so are these games essential. Wycombe's David Wheeler, a leading campaigner for sustainability in football, told BBC Sport, "These games are only necessary in the sense that clubs want to make more money and grow their fan base." He added, "The vast majority of players don't want to be away from their families, they don't want to travel the world after a full season. They are overworked and injuries are through the roof, so there is a synergy between player well-being and planetary well-being." It is estimated that a group of 30 people traveling 12,864 air miles in business class generates around 200 tons of CO2, the equivalent of 500,000 miles driven by a standard petrol car, or all the annual emissions of 16 people in the UK. Tottenham said it is committed to minimizing its environmental impact across all its operations, which will take time and effort. The club says it ensures all teams travel as sustainably as possible throughout the season. It measures, manages and reports on travel emissions, and will offset, where possible. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and don't miss the next videos.